What's up, everybody? It's your boy Maine back with another live stream. So Trump, I don't even know why I got the Bitcoin chart up. Trump pumped the coin, and look where he pumped it right into our little bearish order block. Camping the upside move because of the algorithm. But for real, I mean, this thing pumped literally right into resistance. I know no one is going to believe me, because why would you believe a dirty clout goblin like myself? But I had this fucking line, bro, on the chart before. I swear to God, I had this line on the chart before. And if I wish I could find it on Twitter somewhere. But I had this line on the chart before, bro. I swear to God I did. And it came right up into there and then rejected. Now, basically, my understanding is that Trump's team, right? Because I like to assume that Trump basically has no idea what the fuck's going on when it comes to this stuff. Trump's team announced that the top 220 holders of Trump's token are going to get to have dinner with Trump. Okay? So that's crazy to put out, and it caused the price to go up. I mean, there's literally no other way to explain this. Yeah, it based out, and you can absolutely find, a reason to be bullish here, right? Like on this thing, because lows, and then, right, kind of reclaimed the range. But to get this reaction, right, this is quite simply due to that announcement, in my opinion. Now, conveniently enough, in a couple of days, the locked tokens, right, start unlocking. So Trump effectively has pumped his own token going into unlocks. So whether Trump knows what the fuck is going on or not, my assumption is not really. Whoever is running this shit for him definitely knows a thing or two about crypto. And it's probably someone who's been spending some time, on crypto Twitter, and is not just some random suit. This guy's not some normie, because pumping into the unlock is like, crypto scam founder 101 type of maneuver there. Announce something, some phony partnership, some bullshit right before the unlocks, pump those fucking tokens up. It's like Chris Bernisk, right? He's constantly hyping up TIA while he's just unloading his bag, right? Like, he's not buying any fucking TIA. But yeah, man. So pretty crazy moves there. And then listen, I warned you guys in Telegram. I warned you. So if you're not here and you're not here to appreciate the clout goblin, okay, this is not the stream for you, because we done told you. I told you so. I told Twitter so. I told Telegram so. I told YouTube so. I told TikTok so. I told Instagram so. I told everybody. I had my seeds of clout, and I was handing them out like candy on fucking Halloween to all the little kiddies in their little fucking costumes. I was fucking handing out those clout seeds because I knew we were due for a bountiful clout harvest. And bountiful it has been. Basically exactly what we had discussed in Monday's stream, in the Friday stream, the Wednesday stream, going back for the entire month of April, basically. We've been discussing, hey, if we get this 3 drives move, I think the next target is here. Right? Then we got it. Okay, I think you can long. Then we flipped the breaker. I said, this is now a long. And all of it resulted in a move up here as close as Monday when we were at 88,000. So this is 78,000 when we were talking about it. We were talking about this at 78K, 80K, 82, 84, 86, 88, as recent as Monday, saying that we're going to go tag the yearly open. We're going to go tag this point of breakdown. That was the next move for Bitcoin. And I fucking told you so. So if you doubted me, fuck you. I'm never wrong. I'm always right. It's that simple. But we've done exactly what we had expected price to do. So that's good news, right? The better news is hopefully you guys made some money along the way. So I personally was long Ethereum. So I made some money on the ETH setup here that we had also discussed in last stream on Monday. Remember, I said, hey, yeah, we got this stupid little gay wick, but this is still a good setup here on ETH. We got that move up right into resistance. So I made money on this move. Hopefully you made money on one of these three, because we covered all three of these setups over the last handful of streams. Solana, the big breakdown, the breaker, the retest, bang. So I hope you guys made some money. I hope you made some money. Free money main, trying to hand out a couple of shekels. You know, there's a little bit of hope in the market. Now is what is really, really difficult and really, really tricky. So if this is your first downtrend on Bitcoin, okay, bro, I see your question. You keep copying and pasting it. I see it, bro. If this is your first downtrend on Bitcoin, you need to be aware that the moment of peak optimism that everyone is feeling right now, go look at the timeline. We're so back. I'm starting to look at altcoins again. I'm starting to get back in the trenches. The trenches are back. There's this point in time, which we are at the critical juncture of basically right now, where we need to determine, okay, if we are indeed so back. This is so back, okay? This so, back, okay? Or is this the absolute perfect spot for the bears to step back in, and this is just another lower high? So we are quite literally at the precipice. We are on the edge. Okay, you know that fucking Creed song? Right? We're arms wide open. Not that one, but the other one. We're on the edge of glory, of greatness. But at that same point, right, is the point of potential maximum opportunity on the short side. Okay? And that's tricky. That's really tough. So, if you go back and look at Bitcoin in prior cycles, I don't know. Can you take me higher? You guys all know the fucking bangers, bro. Creed, good old Christian rock band. Okay, if you don't remember these bear markets, I don't blame you, but I was around back here. You want to know who was on crypto Twitter back here? It was like me and 7 other people. Okay? And every time, this is how I got popular on Twitter initially, is we had this floor, okay, at 6K. And I was one of the people who said, hey, this is the bouncy ball meme. Right? This is going to eat shit. And each one of these pops, which was right into resistance, people got super bullish, calling for new all-time highs again. Every single time. Same thing here, right? That's it. We're going back to all-time highs. That's it. We're going back to all-time highs. That's it. The bottom's in. And then finally the bottom was in. It's no different than this. It's the inverse of the bull run. How many bears, right, were shorting each one of these higher highs, thinking that this was the one that was going to roll back over? It's the inverse, right? And so the problem with it, and why it's so tricky, is this is a perfect example. If you were holding Bitcoin here, So you had it at 65K. You didn't sell any. And now it's at 30K. And you're going in your mind, you're going, please God, just let this bounce a little bit. Let it bounce up to 50, and I swear to God I'll sell. I swear to God I'll sell. How many of you were having this exact conversation with yourself 2 weeks ago? When we were at 75K, 80K, saying, God, just please give me a chance to exit my bags back above 90K. And then we get it. You get that pump right into the most obvious level of resistance on the entire chart. And what do? What is Twitter doing right now? Everyone is getting max bullish. Max bullish. And the reason it's so tricky is because you're now saying, well, fuck, we're up huge off the lows. And if we can just get above here, we are going to new all-time highs. And that's what's so difficult about this situation right now, is I know a bunch of you would beg to have sold back up here. And you had to be patient. You had to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. And then now that we're here, you're wondering if you should sell it all. Right? So you've got two options here. Or I guess three. Okay? I don't think buying here makes any sense for what it's worth. We're into resistance. This is the point of breakdown. But you have a couple of options here. Option number one is you think that the bottom is in. And therefore, you do not want to be bearish. You don't want to sell. Well, what are your options? You can then say, okay, I'm hoping that we get a weekly structure break here. Right? And then you're going to try and buy the dip on any sort of dip here into demand and assume that we're going to all-time highs. Right? That's your option one. That's probably the conservative bullish option. Option number two, okay, is you think that this thing's just going to continue to rip. And you're like, you know what? This is just so strong, dude. We're so back. I'm buying altcoins now. I'm buying everything. Yeah, I'm going to buy Fartcoin even though it's up 5 or 6x in the last month. And you're just like ultra bull. Possible. Then option number three, which I think is the bearish scenario, right, is you say, hey, this is the lower high. This is exactly where the lower high should form. I'm going to short. So what are you going to do? What you need to ask yourself, right? What you need to ask yourself is, has anything changed? If you were bearish here because of tariffs, the stock market, the economy, the state of crypto, there's nothing left to pump. If you were bearish here and now we're here, what has changed other than the number has gone up? Have the tariff situation resolved at all? Do you think the bottom is in on the stock market? These are the kind of things you need to be asking yourself. Because if the only thing that has changed is that the number's higher, Bitcoin's 20% higher, but you're still bearish on the economy, you still think Trump is nuking the markets, there's no trade deal with China, the tariffs aren't going away, stocks are going to keep dropping, then isn't this just a really, really good short setup? And listen, I wish I had the easy answer for you. And I could tell you that this is for sure what's going to happen next. But I don't know. No different than my ability to predict. Remember, I'm only good at predicting one move at a time. That's what I'm really good at. So I predicted from here, we were going to trade up to here. And guess what? There was a ton of money that we could have made and that we did make on that move. So now my goal is to determine what is the next most likely direction for price. That's the question. One move at a time. I'm not in the business of being like it's going to do this and then 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 this. If I think the next move is this, that's what I want to trade. And then if I think the move after is this, that's what I want to trade. Because that's what being a trader is. Otherwise, you're investing at best or you're just guessing at worst. So it's a little bit tricky. It's a little bit tricky. This is a really tricky spot. There's a lot of people who were shitting their pants. This is another thing. I want you to make sure you know. Okay, the people who were shitting their pants down here and who was telling you that this is the place to buy for a move back to the yearly open. Like I said, once the trend isn't just up continuously forever, you get to see who knows what they're talking about and who doesn't. And a lot of the people who didn't fucking say shit down here, or at worst, they were butting into the lows, now getting bullish into the highs, you got to ask yourself, what the fuck? You got to stop giving them your engagement. You got to give that engagement to me because I need it. So what are you guys' thoughts in the chat? Like, what do you guys think? Because we did a great job, in my opinion. I think we nailed this move. From here to here, I didn't see anyone on Twitter, in my opinion, or YouTube, lay out this scenario with the 3 drives and then the entry on the breaker and even the long down here we had discussed and a move into the yearly open where is exactly where we've been capped for now. So I think we did a pretty good job for the month of April of basically catching the major trend with all the levels, the right bias, everything. And what I'm doing here for you, okay, is I'm giving you the most important piece, and in my opinion, one of the most difficult pieces of a trading plan to have, a bias. If I'm telling you, I think we go up from here to here, and you agree with me, of course, you can disagree. You can think that I'm wrong. Sorry, my wife's calling. Not that you guys would know anything about what that's like. Fucking incel virgins. I'm streaming, baby. I'm streaming. Okay, bye. She literally just said, you have a huge penis, and then hung up. I don't know, guys. So if I'm giving you the bias, again, only if you agree with me. I'm not telling you to follow me blindly. But if you're saying, hey, you know what, I agree, my analysis lines up with Maine's. Now you have the bias where you can now go and look at all of your trading setups and be like, okay, I think Bitcoin is trading from 80 to 90. I'm bull biased. I'm going to go through all of my altcoins and I'm going to look for longs. That's one of the most important things. Bias. And so if we are able to nail that, which we did, it makes your life so much easier because now you don't have to go, oh, am I longing or shorting this thing? You know we're bullish right now. Now, in my opinion, is the time to pay attention because this could be, just like I was confident that this is where we get bullish, to me, this is where we are expecting a pullback. Maybe we run 96, but I'm pretty confident from this area we get some kind of pullback. The question is how deep. And if this ends up being a lower high, right? Or if it's just a pullback into a higher low, which is the ideal scenario. Okay? So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Enigma, you're simping for your wife. Imagine thinking that that's what's going on here, bro. My wife treats me like a fucking god. You wouldn't get it, though, because you're a virgin, Enigma. You haven't even been in the same room as a girl since you came out of your mother's vagina, you fucking pussy. Let me know your guys' thoughts here. Some fatty tuna. What's up, my boy? What's up, my boy? What's up, Kagi? Scalped along nicely. Let's go, bro. So, Lou Retrice, right? Yeah, most of the people are on YouTube. That's why you're wondering where I'm reading these comments from. He says, so you offload spot, you can just check offload in the first place. So listen, if you're holding a ton of Bitcoin and you didn't sell any above 100K, I don't know how you can go wrong selling here. Because at best, you get a chance to either buy back here on like a higher low, right? Or potentially even lower, which would be God tier. Or at worst, we reclaim this area and you just buy back. And yeah, you lost a little bit here because you sold at 94 and you bought back at 98. But you protected yourself from potential major downside. Because if you didn't sell any here and then you have a chance to sell here and you don't, and then it comes back and does this, how fucking miserable are you going to be? Enigma's response is, I've been in a room with a girl. Nice one, bro. What do you reckon about ACH? I have no idea, bro. My gain is insane. You are peaking the mic. Maybe you're not prepared for the hype. Let me see. Am I peaking the mic? Hold on. My gain is turned all the way up to the max. How about now? Is this better? I had it absolutely cranked. But I'm fully torqued, Zor. What do you want from me, bro? Advice on getting a wifey. I'm more than happy to fucking give you some advice on how to get a wife if you really want. This is my best tips. Now you can't hear me? Oh my God. No. See, Zor just comes in here and he just messes shit up. He just messes shit up, bro. We're going back to fully torqued. Man, if we don't form a higher low after a higher high on the daily, it's truly over. I don't think a lower low is going to happen. And then his next comment is, can you start giving TP stop loss leverage on Telegram? Here's what you can do, bro. What's your name here? Opa Mayor. Opa Mayor? Ope Mayor. I'll do better than giving you stop loss, entry, take profit. You send me some money, okay? You send me some dinero, some cheddar cheese. Then you send me your address. I'll come to your house. I'll enter your trades for you. I'll have sex with your girlfriend, wife, mother, whoever you live with. I'll go into your fridge. I'm going to drink your milk out of the carton. I'll eat your food. I'll walk your dog. I'll do it all. It's just going to cost you. Easy peasy. Opai Mayor. I like how you put it in quotations as if that was going to help me pronounce it better. The Big Father on Portuguese. I like that. I like that. The Big Father. Speak of the devil. You have milk bags. That's only on the East Coast, bro. We're not weird like that out west. All right, guys. So right now, in my opinion, the bulk of this Bitcoin move is done. I'm not saying that we're going to. Baby, can you do me a favor? You fill my water up, please. Thank you. The bulk of the move, in my opinion, is done. Now what we really need to do is figure out what's happening here. Is there a short? If we get some sort of SFP here, I do think you take the short. Weekly resistance, weekly downtrend. If there's a short up here, I think we take it. And then we try and find the higher low. So if you go down to like the 3-day chart, like the weekly, I guess you can use. So basically what we're hoping for right now on the weekly is this, okay? Like this is what we need on the weekly here. We want this to close as a structure shift, but it's still only Wednesday today. So we still got today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday. Still got 4.5 days for this thing to close above 88,740 on the Bybit Perps chart. All right. Next, we need to see, right? So if there's a short here, I want to take it. And then I want to see if a long forms here. Because really what we're hoping, thank you, baby. Really what we're hoping for is no different than this. Right? The low is in. We reclaimed and we sent. We're looking for this. If you remember from here, it's the same setup as this. Right? We took out the lows, broke structure, went higher. Like this is what we need. What we do not want is this, where everyone gets bullish into the ultimate lower high, and then we go and make a lower low. So I think that it's fair to be cautious here. We already caught the bulk of the move, and now we want to see if there's a short opportunity. I'm absolutely going to take it. But we want to see if we put in a higher low or not. That's really the question. I think that's on everyone's mind. I think most people, as usual on Twitter, are fucking retarded. Anytime we have a move like this, it's just like lifting up the skirt. You're just like, you're seeing under the hood. And you're like, oh my God, like I thought this person, actually had a clue what they were talking about, but inside their brain, instead of, an actual brain, it's like from The Simpsons. It's just that monkey with the symbols just going like this. Like that's all they know, right? Like they don't know anything. And there's just not a lot going on up there. Not a lot of critical thinking skills. And so I really think it does worry me that so many people are just so quick to jump on the like, we're fucking good. This is going up no matter what. But yeah, critical spot here. Dream scenario is this, in my opinion. Like this is the dream. Maybe it doesn't pull back quite this deep. Maybe it only pulls back to like here. But like this is the dream scenario. The nightmare scenario is like this is a lower high. And this is just the downtrend continuation. And a lower low. So again, you got to ask yourself. Because I can't tell you for sure. I think what I can tell you is I think the bulk of the move is done. And within this area, we're going to get a pullback of $5,000 to $10,000 probably. And that's the most confidence I have right now of what's going to happen next is somewhere in this gray box, we get a short setup and we have the ability to potentially take that short. In terms of whether or not the low is in, it's way more complicated because I don't think anything has changed from the start of April to now. Since Liberation Day to now, I don't think the economy has gotten better. The tariff situation has gotten better. The stock market has gotten better. Like, I don't think any of that stuff has materially changed. But the number's gone up. So now all of a sudden, all of people's reasons for being bearish and expecting much lower prices have gone out the window completely. So, what's your risk appetite? Where are you in from? What are your entries? What are you willing to risk? What situations are you willing? Like, are you willing to say, you know what, I'm not going to sell here, and if we come down here, you're still going to hold? And then what happens if we do this? Then you were wrong. At what point do you get out? You know? Very tricky. Very, very, very tricky. So let's look at some other coins, and we'll just keep yapping like we always do. But I feel pretty good about how we navigated the month of April. I think we caught the biggest move. We caught the right direction, and that's literally all you can ask for. Because if you get the directional bias correct on Bitcoin for such a large move, this is a month-long 20+% move to the upside, your trading on alts becomes that much easier because you know that you're long biased. Why not take the short right now? You could. Where's your stop? Like, are you putting your stop up here? I would much rather see us do something like, and then I can have a much more risk-defined setup. But you could take the short right here. Do you not remember this short? I posted this on Twitter. Let's see if we can get it right here. So I'm going to mark out the 3-day chart, OB. You guys not remember this? When we broke the floor, right? And I said, this is exactly where the lower high forms based on the 3-day chart. And everyone was bullish right into it, and then it fully retraced. This is the same idea. So you absolutely can take the short right now if you want to. Completely valid. Yeah, I think Trump said he's meeting with Xi next month. And at the same time, I think next month we have FOMC, May 6th. Assuming worst case, where do you think the bottom would be? I think here. It makes way more sense for a high time frame bottom to form here than to form where it did here. But I could be wrong. Of course, anything can happen. What's up, Treeborn Frog? How do fees work at Breakout? We have a 750 round trip. Like, it's same as on a centralized exchange. I think 750 for every 10K or whatever it is. It's the exact same as like VIP 1 on Bybit. Just tell us when alt season, bro. When this chart fucking dies, then there will be alt season. So, anyone who's told you alt season so far looks insane. But every time we've had alt season, like, Bitcoin is not going up aggressively. It's topping. Can BlackRock buy your shit coins already? They have been. Aren't they buying some ETH? Is it possible that alt season's already happened? I mean, I've talked about this countless times, right? Like PopCap, multi-billion dollars. Fartcoin, multi-billion dollars. AI coins combined, 10 plus billion dollars. Dog with Hat, $4 or $5 billion. We had plenty of alts go up a ton. Again, this common misconception about what alt season is from people is just so funny. Like, just go look at like a guy like Alex Becker's feed. Alt season is this idea promulgated by people like Alex Becker and Luke Belmar, who are trying to sell you some shit, that all your alts are going to go up, especially the ones that they tweet about. They're all going to go up forever at the same time, and it's going to be glorious, and you're going to get super rich. In reality, that's just not the case. Most of the biggest runners happen during the bull run, not during alt season. They happen during the bull run. WIF going from 0 to 4.5 billion is a bigger runner than anything that's going to happen in alt season. Alt season is just a period of time where Bitcoin dominance decreases and alt BTC pairs can go up. Does that not mean that you can make money? Of course you can. There's going to be 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 X's. There will be some crazy returns on a lot of alts that are down 99%, and then they're going to bounce up 500% and still be down. But if you had the opportunity to buy during this up leg, you can make a bunch of dough. But it's not this like magical point in time where every single coin just goes up infinitely forever. Yeah, Murad, I mean, I've talked about this ad nauseum at this point. Like, Murad's an idiot. Yet he gets thousands of likes on his tweets. Why? It's human psychology. It's human behavior. Just think about it logically. Like, people are just like so in need of something to save them from their poor decision makings and their poor investments that some guy with a bunch of followers saying, you are going to make it, you're going to be rich, your coins are going to go up, the bull run hasn't even started, right? Like, that's what they need. And maybe, like, here's the thing. I don't ever want to speak in absolutes. There's a world where something happens, and let's assume like this happens, okay? And for like Bitcoin has another crazy rally because it's totally possible. We absolutely can go up more, right? And let's say this happens and a bunch of altcoins go up. Does that make someone like Murad correct, who has been telling you to buy while some of these coins have went down 95, 99%? Is he redeemed if all of a sudden it goes up 5x, 10x, or maybe it even makes a new all-time high, even ever so slightly? I don't know. That's for you to decide. In my opinion, someone who makes it seem impossible for price to go either up or down and isn't preaching at least having some proper risk management, I don't think that that's a person that you should listen to. A permabull, because permabulls usually get fucking smoked. Maybe eventually they end up being right, but most people are not willing. Like, someone could have just told you, buy the dip, This is exactly what Murad did, by the way, except for he blew up his fund. But they say, buy the dip, 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 buy the dip. And it's like, oh man, it made a new all-time high. So that person was correct. It's like, yeah, but they told you to buy and then it went down 80%. What is the likelihood that you didn't sell during any of this? You know what I mean? So that's, again, but this is why I try and teach you guys to make your own decisions, so you can compare and contrast your opinion and what you believe versus what you're seeing from other people, and you can at least have some input on what you're doing with your money. If you're going to follow and copy people online, by all means, like, go for it. But just, like, be aware. Like, a lot of these people get shit wrong all the time, me included. I get shit wrong very often. So right? Like, but if you're just blindly following someone, you don't know if that person who's been telling you to buy the dip, if they are still buying the dip. The most obvious situation, right, is everyone's like, buy the dip, buy the dip. It's like, dude, with what money? Like, you've been telling me to go all in for the past 6 months, and everything you've told me to buy is down 99%. Like, what money am I supposed to be putting in at this point? You know? What is my take on Sol BTC? Let's look. I think Sol BTC, very likely, it's coming into some support here. But I think this very likely ends up like ETH BTC. I've showed this comparison multiple times on stream, and I've also showed it on Twitter. But to me, this is like the future for Sol BTC is ETH, where this rally on ETH BTC, this was ETH going to all-time high versus dollars, but it's nowhere near all-time high versus Bitcoin. And I think Sol BTC could do this, still not make anywhere near a higher high versus Bitcoin, but, you know, go to $500, $600, $700. Doesn't dollar cost averaging beat out trying to time the market? It absolutely does if the thing that you buy eventually goes up. So the only thing I would ever feel comfortable dollar cost averaging into in crypto is Bitcoin. Because if you dollar cost average into Ethereum, how's that going? Right? If you dollar cost averaged into some coin from a few cycles ago that you thought was the new thing, like, how's that going? So it is, in my opinion, smarter for most people to just dollar cost average into Bitcoin than try and delude themselves into thinking they're trading. The mistake, though, that most people make is they dollar cost average into altcoins when most altcoins are on the roller coaster to zero, right? So dollar cost averaging into this doesn't really fucking work. It only works when you have an asset that eventually, over a long enough time horizon, goes up and to the right. And so far, nothing is proven to do that in crypto outside of Bitcoin itself. And I wouldn't have an audience if I just told people to just buy Bitcoin and do nothing, because people want to trade, and I get it. People want to try and outperform the market. They want to try and be able to actively get in and out of coins. Like, I get it. That's what I try and share with people. But 100%, I think the majority of people would have more money if they had just dollar cost averaged into Bitcoin when it went down a lot and then did nothing else. Where do you see Trump going realistically? The high could be in already. Like, that could have been it. There's a world where that's it. 75% in one day. Like, there's a world where the entire move is done already, dude. It's just one of these. Especially if the unlocks are happening now. Like, isn't that mean there's just going to be, like, infinite sell pressure? And then maybe they make another announcement, and that's just how they farm the fuck out of this thing until they sell it all. So there's a chance that move is already done. But maybe if it gets above 17, then maybe it gets interesting and it can trade up towards 30. But I think there's a non-zero chance it's already cooked. Like, that was the move. Why am I fighting Murad? He was a great guy. He's a great guy. I disagree, but okay. I don't think telling people, like, I'm not a proponent. I love being a bull. It's fun. right? But I'm not in the business of, at least I don't enjoy telling people. I don't enjoy lying to people, right? And deluding people, because there are people like what you don't forget, dude. Like, I got a lot of followers, bro. When the market goes down a lot, I get messages from people who are like telling me they're gonna kill themselves. Like, they're like, dude, I've ruined my life. I've spent all of my money on these meme coins. I thought I was going to get rich. My wife doesn't know, or my wife does know and she left me. My family's pissed. I lost my job. Like, I've gotten crazy fucking messages over the years. And sometimes that's very easy to forget, right? When it's I'm just bull posting, bro. I'm just bull posting. It's like, okay, but like, you have some responsibility to your audience, do you not? At least I feel like I do. Let me say that differently. I don't think Murad owes his audience anything. It's up to him whether or not he feels some modicum of ownership of the things that he says. That's why anything I say, I always tell people I get shit wrong all the time. Anything can happen. It could go up, it could go down. Like, I could be very wrong. But if I'm talking about a trade, it generally means I'm taking that trade and I'm risking my money. Because I know that there's going to be people, even though I tell them not to, who blindly follow what I do. And I would feel terrible if someone fucking ruined their life and I'm like, hey, dude, this is an all-in long spot, and then it nukes 20% and they lose all their money and I lose, 50 grand because that's all I risked. That doesn't make me feel good. Whether or not a guy like Murad or whoever else, like our permables, give a shit, it's not up to me to tell them what to do and what to care about. Okay, we've got a breakout hater here. You don't enjoy lying to people. Why do you tell people that you offer 100K accounts when in reality they're 6K accounts? Well, because they are. Because if you buy the 100K account, you can open up a $500,000 Bitcoin position. You can't lose 100K. No shit. You paid us $800 for it, you fucking retard. You think I'm going to give you 100? What, am I supposed to just let people lose all 100 grand? Are you insane? You can open up a $500,000 Bitcoin position for $800. I don't know how any clearer that can be. But you can go fuck yourself, bro. If you don't understand how it works, that's not my fucking fault, dude. And first of all, how dare you come at me when we've got the same haircut? Like, how are you going to talk shit to me when we're both bald? Like, we're supposed to stick together. Bald brothers are supposed to stick together. We've got enough problems. We're already follicularly challenged. And you're going to come into my chat and talk shit? Like, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. And your Twitch is sexy mistress. I do think you look good with the bald head. Like, come on, bro. We're supposed to stick together, man. Bald bros are supposed to be united. We're two white bald guys. We look like we're Aryan. We got enough problems in today's society. We don't need to be attacking each other. Oh, my bad. So I will deposit $100 on Rollbit and get 100K, right? Because I can open 100K position. I don't know, bro. Like, you're asking for like what leverage is. I don't think I'm scamming people because I don't force people to do anything, bro. If you don't want to use Breakout, don't do it. If you don't want to gamble on Rollbit, don't. It's stupid. You're going to lose your money. It's a casino. Like, what the fuck? I make tons of videos for free to help people. Whether or not they want to use stuff that I promote, that's up to them. We've paid out millions of dollars to people on Breakout. We're the #1 rated prop firm in all of crypto, and we were the most selling prop firm out of all prop firms over the last month. So clearly people like it and find value in the product. If you don't, that's fine. It doesn't mean it's a scam. Every single aspect of how it works is clearly laid out on the website, as well as in the Discord where I've made over 10 videos explaining exactly how everything works, how we make money, how you can make money, the rules, how the accounts work, how the leverage works. I give you a free trading course so you can get introduced to it, how the terminal works. All of it is laid out there in plain text. Just because you don't understand it, choose to read it, or want to use it does not make it a scam. Your lack of understanding does not make something a scam. Because you didn't understand how to use something and it didn't work out in your favor does not instantly make that thing a scam. And it's insane to come at me where I believe I'm one of the better people on the internet for crypto shit. I'm not shilling you meme coins, okay? I'm not pump and dumping on you. I don't have a wallet that I farm you with. All of these YouTube videos, 900 of them over 8 years are all free. I'm teaching people to make their own trading decisions, where there's people out here like Hayden Davis who are rug pulling you with the president of Argentina. And you're going to come at me? Like, what are you talking about? Pretty much everything you're saying is correct, but it's not exactly correct because you're offering 100K. That's all. It's a 100K account, bro. I don't know what to tell you. It's a 100K account. You can open up a $100,000 notional position. That means it's a 100K account. I'm just saying I'm not going to let you lose the entire 100K. So you don't understand. And I'm going to continue to, I'm not going to trust you. You don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, go fuck yourself. I thought we had something. We're both bald. But clearly, you being bald while shaving your head, you must have shaved some of your brain off with you, bro. No hate, but you're calling me a liar and a scammer. Fuck you, bro. You're now on timeout for 30 minutes. Sorry. Anyways, let's move on. Like, that's bald on bald crime, dude. That's insane. Like, we as a people need to stop fighting each other. Us bald guys need to stick together, man. Mez said he de-risked some. Yeah, I don't think that that's a bad idea. I think if you want to go risk back on, you just need to wait for us to flip this. That's simple. Like, after I fucking roast his fucking ass, he's like, I love you, bro, and your haircut. I just think that you're wrong about the company that you started. Okay, dude. That's timeout for you. 30 minutes. So, Maine, how are you going to play this? Take some off here. I think that I'm going to be looking for opportunities and reasons to short here and de-risk. Yes. And those ideas will be invalidated if we can reclaim this zone. What else do you guys want to talk about? Like, the biggest worry, honestly, is, like, look at Bitcoin dominance, dude. Like, see how aggressively this is going up? If Bitcoin even sneezes down to, like, 88K, look at altcoins right now. Look at some of these alts right now. Like, look at these coins. A couple of them are already down 2%, 1.5%. Like, we're still at 93K. If this goes back to 88K, a lot of altcoins are going to go down like 10, 20, 30%. How did I go bald? I've been in crypto for way too long. Or genetics. One of the two. What up, Mike? How you doing, G? Yeah, gold still ripping. Risk on means that we are in an environment where you are rewarded for taking positions in riskier assets, equities, crypto, things that are further along the risk scale. A risk on environment generally is an environment where there are low rates, there's lots of liquidity in the market, and people are willing to be risky with their money because the economy is good, the stock market is going up. So a bull run in stocks, in crypto, etc., like we saw from, here to here, or from COVID to here, those would be considered risk-on environments. When the stock market is more uncertain, when there's more uncertainty in the world, there's less confidence in the economy, in the stock market, people are going to be less risk-on. They're going to be risk-off. They want to put their money in more risk-free, or not risk-free, but safe assets, safe places. Maybe they want to hold on to cash. Maybe they want to invest in U.S. government bonds because those are going to give you a effectively guaranteed return. A lower return, but there's less risk. It's not as volatile. They're going to put their money into things like gold. Less risky stuff. So that's kind of the main difference. So looking at equities here, like the biggest concern, I think here is that nothing is changed, right? And like that's what I was talking about with Bitcoin's at this super key level. It looks really good, but like nothing here has changed. This is still in a downtrend on the high time frame, right? Yeah, we ran out all those lows. I'm just going to delete this fib because it's making it very busy. Right, so we've blown out a bunch of lows. We've had a really nice bounce. But, like, is this anything more than just a relief rally? So I think maybe we can come up to here. And that would bode well with Bitcoin not rolling over yet. All right? But ultimately, this still looks kind of fucked. We haven't even pulled back that much, right? So off of all-time high, it was 22% at the lowest. During the Biden administration, we had a pullback that was 26%. During COVID, we had a pullback that was 36%. And then, of course, during 2008, it was like almost or over 50%. So if this is a COVID-style crash, okay, maybe the max downside's not that far off. But if this is more like a 2008-style crash, I'll look at a better chart here that's going to have more history. What's a better one? What's the one that goes all the way back? I always forget. So gay, dude. Let's just look at the Dow. Which one? Someone give me the ticker where it goes all the way back. I can't remember. Which one of these is the best one? Here we go. No, again, I keep getting fucking cooked here. There we go. SPX 500. Dude, these all stop in fucking 2008. There we go. Please, God. All right. Like, if this is a proper recession, right, like we had in 2008, this is like a multi-year correction and recovery, right? So from the top to when we made a new all-time high was like 3 to 4 years, almost 5 years. Whereas COVID, right, we made new all-time highs after COVID, like within 6-7 months. After the Biden correction, where was the new all-time high? 1 year later, back at all-time highs. Whereas 2008, like this is like a multi-year correction. So that's the question you got to ask yourself. Has any of that changed? Like, do you still believe, are we in one of these and this thing is just going to continue up? Or is this more akin to a 2008 style crash where like, hey, no, this is like a move to austerity and this is a dramatic change globally for the markets and we're not just going to quickly recover within 6 months. And that's the risk you run with just buying the dip. Because if you buy the dip, that's assuming that that's the dip, right? What happens if it dips again? Are you going to hold? Are you going to buy more? Whereas if you're saying, hey, listen, I believe that over a long enough time period, this chart is going to end up here. And yeah, there's going to be ups and downs along the way. Then you could say, okay, every time it goes down 10, 20, 30, 40%, I'm just going to dollar cost average in, no matter what. Even if it's going up, you're going to have a programmatic dollar cost average. That's going to be a much better strategy for something like this, as opposed to trying to guess when the bottom's going to be in, right? Sorry, guys. I came directly from the gym, so I'm still running on pre-workout. Took me only like 50 tickers to get the right SPX. Didn't the 2008 crash play out much quicker? Not really, dude. Like, I mean, this was a multi-month correction here, right? This is July of 2007. And then by the time we really break down, it's already a year later, right? But the correction started a year before. So that's the thing. We could be in one of these, dude. We could be in one of these bounces on the way down. And the real fucking pain didn't come till the end. And then, again, this recovery took years and years and years. Face It Main launch Netcoin. I will never launch a coin, boys. Warriors or Rockets? I feel like the Rockets should win, but Curry and fucking Butler are cooking, bro. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate you, bro. What are my thoughts on the new venture with SoftBank, Tether, and Cantor Fitzgerald that put Jack Mallers, the CEO, that stock's up like 70%. So I saw that. Thanks, David. I don't really know. Like, so what? They're like, is this a Saylor-esque type of situation where they're just going to be buying Bitcoin? This is way different than the 2008 crash. Banks and housing markets collapsed. Are you saying that that can't happen now? Like, is it impossible to happen again? Maybe. Maybe it crashes for a different reason. Maybe it's because we're at the end of a bubble where everything is inflated basically for the last 15 years and we're due for a hard reset. Right? Not every crash is going to be the same. How do you go about letting winning trades ride after it hits your TP with no high time frame MSB down? Like that killer Robinhood trade, for example, ran higher longer than expected. The easiest way to do it, bro, is depending on where you enter. So if you remember, we were bullish on Robinhood down fucking here like 2 years ago. The easiest way to do it is you've got to pick a time frame. And you've got to just use that to run your stop. So you might say, okay, this was a high time frame trade. Like we took this based on the weekly chart. And you might just say, hey, as long as the weekly keeps making higher highs, Like, I'm going to stay in this thing. And then maybe you get trailed out on that move. And so instead of closing like here where our original target was, I think it was like 20 from here, we got like a triple. You got to ride it to in the 30s. You just got to pick a time frame, right? And should be dependent on the time frame in which you entered, and just say, okay, I'm gonna maybe you say it's the monthly, right? And you say, as long as this thing's putting in monthly bullish structure, I'm gonna stay in it. Well, now the risk you run is it could potentially come all the way back down here and then go up again, and it still hasn't broken monthly structure. Maine, do you hold any gold? I don't know, bro. You tell me. You tell me, bro. Does that answer your question? Do you think it's a good idea to rotate your gold into crypto? I'm not a good person to answer that question, and I'll explain why. Because let's find gold here. Like, gold's eventually going to pull back. 100%, right? It's eventually going to pull back. But much like Bitcoin and much like the stock market, like, I believe that this chart, just drifts higher, right? Over time. And so I like to accumulate gold as a way to store my wealth in something physical and tangible. It's like having a ledger. It's like having a piece of land, right? But I mean, land, okay, well, do you have a mortgage on it? Is it really yours? Blah, blah, blah. Like, if I own the gold coins and the gold bars, like, that's fucking mine. And if, God forbid, something fucking happens and the electric boogaloo occurs and, you need to fucking, money or your credit cards don't work anymore, like, knowing that I have physical gold is something that I just like having. It wasn't really ever something I bought as a trade. Like, I've traded gold, but I bought physical gold with the intention of just like, I want to have gold. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So like, I've got a buddy who like owns a ton of gold, and then he told me it's all in certificates. And I'm like, well, dude, like, if shit hits the fan, good luck taking that certificate to the bank and then like redeeming it. Like, during COVID, at least here in Canada, like, the bank was limiting how much money you could withdraw, like, because there was like bank runs going on, and because of fractional reserve lending, like, banks don't have all the cash on hand. I don't know what it's like in other places, but like, I'm pretty sure it's similar in the States. Like, if I want to go take out $100 grand, if I just walked up to the bank teller and was like, yo, I want to take out $100K out of my account, they would say no. Like, they would grill me and probably say no. Like, which is nuts. But like, that's how it is. Like, you have to call in advance, talk to someone. They got to make sure they've got the cash on hand. They're going to grill you and ask what it's for. Do you use market structure or liquidity to determine bias? Both. Luke Belmar is on Fresh and Fit tonight. I think Luke Belmar might be one of the greatest yappers of all time. Like, I don't know how he's gotten so popular. Because, like, at first I was like, okay, this guy's, like, cool, and he's got, like, some, like, unique ideas. And then the more I listen to him, I don't know if it's all part of the act, but I'm just like, bro doesn't say anything. Like, at least some yappers, like, they yap, but there's like some substance interspersed within the yap. Him, it's just all yap. But like, I don't know, he gives me like scammy vibes, but I don't know, maybe he's a nice guy. I've got some friends who know him and they say he's super nice, and I'm sure he is. But like, him tweeting out about altcoin stuff, like, I'm sure he's got some, incentive with his little, fucking altcoin gems Telegram group. But generational yapper for sure. Do I use cross or isolated lev or both? It doesn't really matter. I think there's just like in general, isolated can be a little bit safer because you don't run the risk of maybe you fuck something up and you lick your entire account by accident. Because when you use cross, your entire account is used as margin. When you use isolated, you put up margin just for that specific position. But you shouldn't be ever getting liquidated if you're smart and you're using your position sizing and your risk management correctly. So then it doesn't matter. Maybe I just haven't studied. Maine, do you hold any Pokemon cards like Rookie or CSGO skins? Hold on. No, I don't hold any Pokemon cards. I don't rock with no Pokemon cards. That's some gay shit. Who would hold Pokemon cards and get them encased in glass and rated? Why would you do that? What a crazy thing to do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with no Pokemon cards. That's nuts. Listen, if you don't have Pokemon cards, gold bars, a ledger, and some cash, and a gun in your safe, are you really living? Are you really a man? So this guy says, Luke Belmore's backstory sounds like total BS. He's another con artist who bought a course, ripped it off, and began selling courses on how to get rich without ever doing it himself. So this is probably one of the biggest things that is going on with, I think, the online money space right now. Is you have these, a lot of them are kids, right? And if you go on YouTube and you go to like guys like this, and I'm not dunking on this guy because I don't know him. Okay, and this guy might be legit. I mean, he's got a GT3 RS. He's smoking the stogie. It looks like he's wearing an AP. I made 20K today, right? There's a million. There's a million of these videos of these guys, right, who are all making money online, and they all do these day in the life videos. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like, I'm sure, like, some of them live very sick lives, whipping around in a supercar in Miami, going out for dinner every night, buying luxury watches. Like, that's pretty cool. But there's this kind of new crop of them that I've noticed where they all have the same phenotype, right? They live in Miami or LA or Dubai. They make money online, and it's kind of mysterious. They don't really tell you. They're like, oh, I do meme coins. Okay, well, what do you mean? Like, are you a meme coin trader and you traded and made a bunch of money? Great. Oh, I do e-commerce. What do you mean? What are we selling? Right? I do ads. I do copywriting. And I know that some of these guys crush. Right? Like, maybe they built a business and they have a skill and they've proven it. And they say, hey, I can do this. I'll teach you how to do it. And then they sell a course. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, to be honest with you. Like, if you're good at something, don't do it for free. But you got to at least, in my opinion, have like some social proof that you are good at it. And I think that's the problem, is we have all these guys, to your point, who are like, I'm this, I do this, I make 100K a month, buy my course, I'll show you how to do it. And like the reason they're making 100K a month is because of their course, not because of their fucking skill or their business. So it's this weird thing. And there's a guy who wrote a book a very long time ago. I can't remember the name of it. And he basically wrote a book saying, like telling people, the book was about telling people how to get rich. And he got rich by selling the book on telling people how to get rich. And yeah, like they're selling a dream. I mean, but it works. Like that kind of marketing works. Whether you like it or not, it's no different. It's another flavor of a Murad. Like, are you not likely going to invest in things that Murad has tons of upside in? If he's telling you this is going to billions and you're going to get so rich, how's that very different from some guy driving a Lambo going, dude, pay me $500 or $5,000. I'll mentor you to make money online and then you can live like me. Like, yeah, Rich Dad, Poor Dad is very similar, right? So, again, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Because I think two things. I think a bunch of things all the time, unfortunately. My brain doesn't shut the fuck up. But one, if you can back it up. Like, dude, there are some people who absolutely it's worth paying your money to learn from them. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a mentor. If someone has a proof, you want to learn guitar? Yeah, you can learn it on YouTube for free. But if you can find someone who's willing to go one-on-one with you and help you learn faster, if you think that's a good use of your money, by all means, do it. And so I don't think there's a problem with that by any means. I also don't think there's a problem with people who do it, because if people are willing to pay, they're willing to pay. And the market is the ultimate barometer. Like if your product sucks, no one's going to buy it. Now, if you have this crazy lifestyle, I'm sure you're going to be able to continually get the greater fool, the new person in. Just like on someone on Twitter, I just need you to think this coin's worth more than I think it's worth to keep buying it. I need to keep bull posting so it goes higher so I can sell it to some other idiot, right? But eventually, right, the market, and there's also a level of Darwinism here. Like if all it takes is someone driving a fancy car and having a nice watch for you to fork out $500 for them, is that person's fault or is it your fault? No different than you see some guy with a bunch of followers tweet about a coin and you just buy it without doing any research, out reading any reviews. I'm sure some of these online money guys have useful information, and I'm sure some of them don't. It's up to you, the consumer, in my opinion, to make that determination. It's your money. Do I do one-on-ones? I don't, but I'll do one for you for $10,000. We'll sit for an hour. You can ask me anything. I got the Charizard. I got the Blastoise. I got the Venusaur. I got a few more. I got a little something. Dumbest thing you bought when you started making real money. I'll show you. Hold on. All right. Can you see? This is the dumbest shit I bought right here. Fucking diamonds, dude. You see the ice? You see the Cuban? The iced out Cartier? Complete waste of money. Stupid waste of money. Because, first of all, where the fuck am I going to wear this? Right? Like, where am I going to wear this, bro? Let's be honest. And on the watches, it ruins them. When you ice out a watch aftermarket, it ruins it. Now, if you buy a factory iced out watch, that's gangster because it's insanely expensive. But if you ice it out after the fact, you ruin it. And the thing with stuff like this, these chains, what you pay for them, they don't really hold their value. Like they'll just say, okay, the gold plus the diamonds, it's worth this. But you get upcharged like crazy. So I wouldn't buy bling. But listen, I was a white kid in Canada. And, you know, I grew up thinking I was like a rapper, dude. I thought I was black. I thought I was going to the NBA. I thought I was going to be a rapper. So the moment I got a little money, of course, part of me is like, I need to buy some fucking chains. I need to buy some fucking chains. And yeah, I wouldn't have done it. This guy says, why so much? Why so much what? This guy says, have kids, dude. Thank you, bro. I'm planning on it. I bought this a long time ago. This is not a sell signal. But yeah, this is probably the dumbest shit I ever bought. Is fucking a bunch of fucking diamond bullshit. Like, if you live in Dubai, right? Like, where you can wear it all the time, then sure. But, like, I don't wear this shit here. If I fucking wore this, like, out, just walking around, people would look at me like I'm an insane person. Bro says, send me your ETH address. Bro, do not send me 10 grand. Are you nuts? Zach says, what is your handicap these days? I shot a 93 the other day. First round of the year back in Canada. I was pretty happy. But I'm hoping that that's not beginner's luck. I think my handicap's somewhere in the neighborhood of 28. Thanks, Will. Appreciate you, bro. Can you own a gun in Canada? Yeah, I mean, you've got to have a license. What am I looking for if I'm trying to short? I need to just see some weakness here. Like, we could just nuke from here, right? Like, this is just one direction. This is one way PA. Where the fuck's my little pen? Where's my little pen? There it is. Like, this is just one way price action. So, like, this can easily roll over from here, just like this did. Right? Like any of these pumps. But generally, what I'd like to see is some kind of trigger. Like some sort of sweep. Right? So we have a high right here. Just above us. And then we have some more highs around this 96K level. So if we get some sort of, flashbang. Oh, no, now we're blind. What the fuck? There we go. If we get some sort of runs above, you know, this high or this high, and then some low time frame structure shifts, that's usually what I use to enter. Remember up here? It's the exact same thing. H12 sweep, structure break, pullback. Well, what happened up here on the hourly? Is it not the exact same structure? Remember, price is fractal. So your H12 sweep, right, is from over there. Okay, we're now on the low time frame, and what are we looking for? Reasons to be bearish. There's a sweep, there's a breaker. Right? There's a sweep, there's a structure break, there's a bearish retest. Like, we're just, that's kind of shit we're looking for here. Same shit. Lil Main. Bro, my name is Trader Main after Gucci Mane. Like, of course I've got some ice, bro. Yeah, again, right? Like, we're looking at stocks. Has anything changed here? If these have some weakness tomorrow into next week, who knows what happens, bro? How many rollies do I got? Too many. I got a lot of watches. I have more than 10. Mike Soko. Now you're just trolling me, bro. Of course I've got Casios. I've got an army green calculator watch. I've got a gold calculator watch. Can I chart Nvidia? I mean, we've got a nice bounce off of our demand zone here. It's down a lot. The short was so clean, bro. Oh, my God. This setup, dude, is so consistent. So, yeah, there's support here. But, again, if the stock market lows are not in, it can go down to here. But, God, if it gets under, like, $70, I want to buy. Right? Like, I want to buy. But this kind of setup, dude, is the best. So, like, look at ETH. Same setup. This is the exact... I'm not even redrawing this. Same setup. Bitcoin. Same setup. Here. Same setup. Like, this is the most based and easy trading setup, is whenever you have a major high, big pullback, and then it goes back to that high and makes a higher high. If it gets back below, you take that short every time. This plays out everywhere, dude. Nvidia, it was the top. I think it was the top of the NQ and the ES as well. Yeah, like there's your high. Soon as it trades back below, you're short with your stop up there. ES, same thing. Where's the Dow? Same shit, dude. Like, man, there were so many. Man, the US dollar's so cooked, bro. Yeah, I know a lot of people have been talking about silver. So you can look at the gold-silver ratio. This is like ETH BTC for gold and silver. So once this starts going up, right, this is ETH BTC. So when this is going up, gold is outperforming. When it's going down, silver is outperforming. So I know a lot of people are like, silver, silver, silver. And it's like, okay, well, this thing's like still bullish. So until this isn't bullish, I still think gold is the focus. What is a good starter watch? Really good question. Billy, you always ask for Jasmine, so I'll look at it. A good starter watch depends what your budget is, right? 'Cause you can get a Rolex for a few $1,000s if you're okay with something that's vintage, maybe. If you want something that's a little bit, like older or more plain, you can get a Rolex for under 10 grand. But like Omegas are really nice. Like I've got a nice Seamaster. I think Tudor makes really nice watches that are not crazy expensive. And it's like a sister company to Rolex. So you can get like a Black Bay, which is effectively a Submariner. Yeah, Nico Leonard's great. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that, bro. So I don't even remember drawing this, but effectively I said if it loses this level, it's going to go down 44%. And I mean, not to toot my own clout horn, but it did. I probably checked it back here, and I said if it loses the red, it goes down to this one. And that's exactly what happened. But overall, now you've got like a bearish retest. Similar to Bitcoin. Okay, we just broke down. Is this a bearish retest? Or is the bottom in? That's the question you need to be asking yourself right now. Tissot are great watches. The Tissot, I think it's the PRX 1000. Yeah, like this is a sick, this watch here. Like this looks like, this looks kind of like an AP. Like it's a sick watch. Guys, I'm having this weird thing on my computer now where if I download any file, like an email attachment, something from Slack, like any file, I download it and it just like freezes my entire fucking computer. Like the download doesn't quite finish and it sits there in the Gmail, like the Chrome download, and it just like freezes. And then eventually it downloads, but it bricks the app. And then I tried to upload my thumbnail to YouTube and it just bricked it. And then I had to like force close and redo it again. It just started happening like a week ago. I don't know what it means or how to fix it. Yeah, Cartiers are nice too. Tag is nice. Lots of nice watches out there. Also depends on what you like, dude. Like another thing I think that I did that was stupid when I got money is I bought like the standard watches that everyone got. I got the AP, and you know I got certain Rolexes and the Pateks, and then what I realized is like, dude, everyone's got the same fucking watches. So like I like vintage watches now because they're more unique. You don't like I've got an AP now that like you'll never see. No one else has it. Whereas like everyone's got the Royal Oak. I got the Royal Oak. Everyone's got that watch, but it's like kind of cooler to have something unique, you know? So I thought it was just a Chrome thing, but it's also, but then I like tried to download an attachment off Slack and then it bricked Slack. I don't know. Send you my seed phrase. I should have figured. I was literally about to tweet it out, but I was like, any advice people give me are going to be them trying to fucking steal my money. Anyways, guys, I've got dinner now. It's 7 o'clock. But hopefully everyone's, you know, made some money so far in April. I think we caught the biggest move of the month. You know, there was opportunities to long Bitcoin, to long ETH, to long Solana, Fartcoin. We had our bias correct. Now we're in a key area of resistance. So it's time to pay attention. I don't think this is the spot where you ape into longs. Even if we trade like this, if we trade up a little higher, people are going to get even more loudly bullish about how the bottom is in and we're just going straight up only. And that just makes the perfect scenario for a pullback to wipe them out. So I've seen it 1,000 times before. But yeah, as usual, guys, love you all. Hope you enjoyed the videos. If you want to support me, easiest way to do it, leave likes, comments. Make sure you're interacting on Twitter. Give me a follow on Instagram, TikTok. If you want to trade with Breakout, you want to check out any of my other stuff, IMG indicators in the description. The Haven is in the description. It's all there. None of it has to be used if you don't want to. You can continue to watch these videos